Hey there, this is Patrick Evans-Hylton with VirginiaEatsAndDrinks.com, and I'm also the culinary advisor for Norfolk Festevents, and this is part of their FETV series, so you can watch some stuff at home and have a good time, learn a little bit about things in the area, and also get prepared for all those great events that Festevents puts on, whether it's online or whether it's in person. Well, you know, it's July 4th coming up, and so what are we going to do? We're going to celebrate because Festevents is going to be hosting their spectacular fireworks display that they have every Independence Day, and you can go down and watch it yourself at Town Point Park in Norfolk, or you can be on a boat, or you can do whatever you want to do to see it, but we're going to give you some ideas so that you can enjoy yourself while you're watching the fireworks. And now, one of the things we're going to do is a cocktail, and I do want to tell you that the alcohol is not permitted, you know, like in public spaces like Town Point Park. So I'm going to show you how to do it kind of as a mocktail. But if you're watching stuff at home or on your own boat, you can make it any way that you'd like to. I'm also going to have a little appetizer that's light and refreshing that you can assemble right on site if you just bring the different components with you too. So let's go ahead and let's get started. You know, watermelon is probably the quintessential summer fruit. You think about almost every kind of outdoor gathering during the summer and there's a watermelon there, and we love it too, but we really enjoy eating it in a different ways instead of just, you know, eating it out of hand. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we're going to make a watermelon-tini, and we're going to start. I've taken 2 cups of watermelons that I've cubed, and I've pushed this through a colander to get all of this fresh watermelon juice. Now you could put it in a blender, but if you put it in a blender, I still would put it through a strainer because you'll get all the seeds out and you'll have just a real liquid product with that. Now we're going to add some vodka. If you're going to make this a mocktail, you just wouldn't add the vodka at this point. But we've got some vodka that's from our friends at Reverend Spirits. They're in the Chelsea area of Norfolk, down in Ghent, and so our friend Carl Dorneman is the master distiller there, and we love supporting local. So if you can't find Reverend Spirits, be sure you look for another local vodka, you know, maybe from Cashel over in Hampton, or maybe Chesapeake Bay Distillery out at the Virginia Beach oceanfront, but be sure to support local as much as you can. So we're going to pour this in. Like I said, if you're making a mocktail, you would just leave the vodka out. Now, speaking of local too, we really like finding our fresh fruits and vegetables and everything else at local area farmers markets. They're so in abundance now. Farmers market, farm stands, and our favorite greengrocer is Westside Produce, which is along North Collie. Got some fresh squeezed lime juice. And then you can make a simple syrup. I actually kind of like agave nectar with this. I kind of like the flavor of it, but you could use a simple syrup, or you could even use honey with this. You know, there's some other sweeteners. Maple syrup wouldn't go with this, but I really like the flavor of the agave. Now, in our companion blog post, which should be either, I don't know, either above or below this, this video here, it'll give you all of the specific directions and also the measurements for everything. So we've got our little cocktail shaker here. Going to put that on good. Now, I always ask myself before I shake a cocktail, WWDSD, what would Donna Summer do? And if you watched me before, you know what she would do. She would love the night live. She'd love to boogie on the disco round. Oh yeah, yeah. All right, there you have it. So we're going to use the strainer portion here to go right into a martini glass. And if you had a little wedge of watermelon, you could put that as a garnish. We actually have a few cubes that we left over. Then we're going to put that right in the glass. And will you looky, looky, looky. How light and refreshing. Oh, that's the quintessential summer. But you know, you can't go on imbibes along, although some of us give it a good try. We're also going to make some little watermelon caprese skewers. Now, caprese salad, as we know, is tomato, it's mozzarella, and then it's fresh basil. It mimics the Italian flag. Well, I like to use cubed watermelon for these, and it's so lovely to use. You just cube them, and then I put a fresh basil leaf on top, and then I get some little small mozzarella balls. These are really miniature here. You could get a little bit larger, or if you couldn't find any of the mozzarella balls, you could just get some fresh mozzarella and cut it into shapes that would fit on top of the cubes. We hold them in place with skewers, and then, you know, what's really nice is that basil really offsets that watermelon flavor. Basil is a relative of the mint plant, and so you kind of have those mint qualities about it, but just that certain je ne sais quoi difference too that almost makes it a little more savory with this too, and especially with the mozzarella, which is fresh and rich and sweet on its own. But we're going to make it a little more savory because we're going to sprinkle on top some fresh herbes de Provence, or many people call me by my initials, Patrick Evans-Hylton, PEH. So this is fresh herbes de Provence. And so you can either use, you know, herbes de Provence that you do at home, or I've got information in the instructions about how to contact me for my recipe. And I am just going to sprinkle these little bits of fresh herbs here. It smells so good because it's got some culinary lavender in it. And culinary lavender is no different than other lavender, except if you, you know, harvest out of your own yard, you just want to make sure, or wherever you get it, you want to make sure it's not had any pesticides or chemicals put on it. So if you get it, the lavender from like a green grocer, it should be fine because it should be labeled as culinary. If you're getting it from a florist, you need to ask to make sure that it's not been sprayed or anything. And then, oh my goodness, that just makes everything so festive and so delicious. I think I am going to indulge and eat one. Oh, smack your mama good. Well, like I said, we're going to have all of these recipes and more. Be sure to head down to 10 Point Park to watch Festevents, their 4th of July fireworks. Use these tips and tricks anytime that you want to throughout the season. You know, and I meant to mention too, with this, if you didn't make it alcoholic, just put a can of seltzer and kind of tap that off, and it'll make it nice and light and all too. So I'm going to finish drinking and I want to finish eating. I don't know about you, but I hope that you have a great 4th of July. And thanks for watching. Be sure to join Festevents on their website for more information. Also join their Facebook group. And then be sure to join my Facebook group at facebook.com/group/Virginia Eats and Drinks. And be sure to visit my website at virginiaeatsanddrinks.com. Cheers.